relationships.
Or is it time to talk about dating? Taboos.
It's on your mind
So let's talk about it
on Nightlife 24/7.
Hey everyone. Welcome back to Nightlife 24/7. I'm your boy Mac as always, and you know my partner. She ain't going nowhere. Same person every time.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, I know she sounds really enthusiastic today, so let's hold that to heart. So, today's show, actually, I don't really know more so what it's about. Nikki sent me some information last night, which I could not pull up, but the show was more so her show today.
No, it was not.
It was too.
It
You sent
was not.
You
I
said
sent
there's
you-
some interesting stuff. You ought to read that.
No, I said it was interesting. You ought to read that, but it was not necessarily for the show. Not everybody wants to even hear about that type of thing.
No.
And
let's
now I
talk
can't
about
pull up the article because all of our devices are acting stupid.
it. Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna leave that one alone because I really was going with the topics that she said, so I was like, okay, cool, no problem.
But all the devices are.
Yeah, but do you remember even the gist of what it was about?
Yes, but I can't remember the
We
city
don't- we
or
don't
whatever.
need the exact thing. It'll pop to in your mind later on as you're talking about it. So what was the premise of it?
So it was a state that has decided that psychedelic mushrooms are no longer illegal.
Oh, yeah, yes. That was the one. Okay.
And they've been using them in small doses anyway to treat certain things for people. But yeah, this state has decided to decriminalize the use and the growing, I believe, of them.
Yeah, I don't remember what state that was. I'm not even going to lie to you. I just remember, you're right. That's what it was. It was about the mushroom. Mm-hmm. Okay, check this out. Mm-hmm. I have no issues with mushrooms as far as medicinal. No, you let me finish the sentence. If she's making that damn face, I'll explain to you in a minute why she's making that face. I have no issues with mushrooms in a medicinal or PTSD or anxiety type use. I, however, have an issue with mushrooms in my food because of that reason.
Because you don't want to be drugged?
You damn right. I don't want to be drugged. But I personally think that's illegal. I think that's a legitimate, not legal, but a legitimate stand and argument for the simple purpose of most people don't know what type of mushrooms are what. That's just the average person. Now think about that.
Right.
What happened the other night when we were watching the show?
It was a television show.
It was a television show, and the person was growing mushrooms in their garden.
No,
not
they picked them out of a community garden.
Right. The people were growing mushrooms. They picked the wrong damn mushroom, grew the wrong mushroom, and your ass in the hospital dying.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It is too much. No, I'm going to say, let me rephrase
Think about
it. It is too easy to misread the type of mushroom. If they're not a person like you who studies plants and use them for herbal and medicinal reasons, I'm sorry. No, I'm not going out in the woods and say, oh shit, I can survive now because I found a mushroom.
Okay, well,
no, that ain't even finna happen. Hell no.
Nobody's saying go randomly picking
No,
mushrooms
I'm
and
good.
start eating them, and it's gonna get to help you. But let's just say
Now
that
I'm
someone.
talking about there's fairies and shit.
Let's
I
just
was
say
people saved me. You already served. You've been out in the woods for 72 hours. You're a little behind. I'm looking around.
Fairy, sweetie.
I'm okay. The fairies took care of me. I'm good. Where the fairies at? They helped me survive.
And the dragons and everything
Yeah,
else
yeah.
you were seeing
See?
on the
So I'm
psychedelic
saying-
mushroom.
Right. See?
Psychedelic
Shit,
mushroom.
no, next thing you know, that shit's on the news, and I'm looking stupid.
Okay, first of all, no one is just going to randomly
You want to bet?
give you psychedelic mushrooms. What is the benefits of someone randomly giving you psychedelic mushrooms? That's like the people who believe that somebody's going to put drugs in the Halloween candy. Ma'am, nobody's giving your kids drugs for free. We're not doing that. Nobody's about to put weed candy in your kid's bag. They're not giving that shit away. So nobody's about to give. Nobody's about to give you their psychedelic mushrooms that they need for themselves.
Yeah, that's legit. I'm gonna move this camera a little bit so they can see us better. So yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. Those weed heads are not giving you their shit for free.
Right.
So
Nobody.
I'm telling you.
Why is that so weird? No one is doing that. Like, no one is giving you. I mean, the shit's expensive, and it takes you a.
It's trying to reconnect.
Reconnecting. No one. It's expensive,
Yeah.
and it's time consuming to make.
Yeah.
So no one is no one's doing that. So no one is gonna just give you their psychedelic mushrooms.
Yeah.
That can help them. Like, they're taking them because they help them, not just because they want to be high off their ass. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why it's still ringing.
Because it was ringing on that one. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I'm gonna be honest with you.
April said, "What is this about mushrooms and fairies?" So there is a city and state. And I'm sorry, our electronics are being weird,
today.
so I
why.
can't even pull the article back up right now. But I will post it after this, where they have they have decriminalized the use and I believe the growing as well of psychedelic mushrooms.
But I have an issue with mushrooms in the fact that the average person doesn't know what's an edible mushroom and what's a psychedelic mushroom.
But don't go randomly going out picking mushrooms. Let's
I'm
start
not
with
even saying
that.
sweetheart. I'm not even saying that. These people that we were watching the show on grew it in a community garden, and these people ended up in the hospital.
Which is why a community garden should have some kind of head of the garden who is kind of keeping an idea of what's growing where and why.
Okay.
But again, nobody is going to poison you. Well, I don't know. No one is going to just get you high off of mushrooms for free. I promise you.
Well,
they're not giving away their mushrooms, just like they're not giving away their weed. It's just not happening.
Listen, mushrooms have been around since what, the 60s, 70s?
No, they've been using them for centuries.
No, I'm saying, but they really came out in the 60s, 70s when the hippies
You mean Americans decided they were
right. So they've been here for a very long time. Mushrooms.
Centuries.
In England, mushrooms were used for many medicinal reasons.
Yes.
I mean, especially as far as cooking and soups and upset stomachs and diarrhea.
I probably wouldn't use mushrooms for that, but okay.
Well, but I mean, they did though.
Right.
They were, so mushrooms were used for that. All I'm saying is this. Maybe I'm a little paranoid because I'm former military and I've seen what can be done when you put stuff in people's foods and stuff like that. And you know, and they teach us about certain things, you know, when we go to other countries, not to eat this, don't do this. Okay. So yeah, I have, I wouldn't even call it a phobia. I just have a slight.
Yeah, I want to hear this because you picked the 1/4 of a mushroom out of your dish last night from the Chinese restaurant.
A slight anxiety. A small slight anxiety toward mushroom. Okay? And let's just say, and I'm going to say this, not even that I'm worried that someone would drug me and it's a psychedelic mushroom. My whole thing is, I do know for a fact that if mushrooms are not cleaned and kept fresh and then placed on food and then heated, that they can ferment.
You can eat mushrooms raw.
Right, but certain mushrooms.
But any food can ferment. Are we not eating cabbage because it's fermented? Like.
But that's, you know exactly what I'm saying. It has the potential to be a little bit more serious. Cabbage.
It's not like they left shellfish out on the counter for a day and then decided to cook it. Like, the mushrooms can be out for a while without it being a problem.
All I'm saying is,
Think about it. We go to the farmer's market. Where are the mushrooms? They're not in the refrigerator section.
they're out. They're out.
So
I get what
it's
you're saying.
okay.
I agree that the state should have done it a long time ago because people have never stopped using mushrooms in the United States.
True.
They've never stopped using them. They went, how can I say, underground.
But again, it's another thing, kind of like with weed, where it's kind of hard to regulate.
Well, yeah.
Think about it. Anywhere there's something decaying, mushrooms will grow.
Which is true. Which is very, very true. So I have no problem with mushrooms in that aspect. I just personally don't want the mushrooms on my food. And I'm sorry. There are certain things that you will not eat.
There's not much I won't eat.
Yeah, there is.
Like what?
Potatoes, tomatoes.
No, it's not that I won't eat them.
Let me say
It's that I can't eat them.
Let me say.
Trust me, I will eat them and say it was worth it for the next 2 days.
Let me say it the way it's supposed to. Maters and taters. Let me say it the way some people in this state understand it. Maters and taters.
No.
Okay.
No. Cannot eat because my body does not like it versus won't eat because I'm being picky are two different things. There are very few things that I am picky about eating. There are things that have decided they don't like me, even though I still like them. I would kill for a BLT.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's a BLC. I've never done a BLT. I've always done BLC. Bacon, lettuce, cheese.
Why not you put tomato?
You know I can't eat tomato. It'll make me throw up.
Oh, God.
So it's just something about tomatoes and the acidity or whatever. They just make me grow up.
They're a nightshade. That's what the problem is.
Yeah,
anyway,
so.
I can't with you.
Okay.
Ignore.
Yeah, I was just reading my screen. That's all. Sorry about that.
But yeah, it's another one of those government control things.
What did
and it's
April
funny.
say? April, how do you feel about the tomatoes?
No, you mean the mushrooms?
I mean, the tomatoes, the potatoes, and
they
the
may
mushrooms.
not bother her.
Well, they may not bother April, but I mean, how does she feel? Does she think it's okay to listen? It's funny to me that all of a sudden, all these different states are now coming around to hemp. They're coming around to weed. They're coming around to mushroom. Things that have been here for years.
Okay, but I'm thinking
because they're trying to figure out a way now to tax them and make money off of them.
I don't think. Well, I think some of it might be that, but I think some of it also might be a small bit of rebellion. Like with the way things are going, what can we do that will slightly upset the
higher ups?
Right. You know,
Well,
it's one of those kind of like one of those things. Well, fine, y'all all worried about this. We're gonna do this over here.
So okay, so you think that's the reason why Cambridge came on board?
I think so. I think some of it is a small in your face.
I ain't mad at them.
I
ain't mad at them.
The whole mushroom thing. Like, why now?
Yeah, which is true because you know it's funny. You never heard anything about
like everybody else
it.
is on the weed thing,
right?
Every other state
never in the news
is doing the debate of well, is it legal? Is it illegal? Is it medical? Is it recreational?
Right.
All of a sudden, mushrooms come out of nowhere. Like I think it's one of those in your face.
Yeah, we just gonna
screw you.
Right.
Yeah,
we've had this on the books for a while and it was hidden, so now we just gonna pull it out and throw it up.
Right.
There. Y'all ain't gonna pay attention to it because Black Lives Matter.
And everything else is going on. So I think some states, some places, and I'm willing to bet that some of these places are more liberal, are probably just doing some of this stuff as kind of a screw you.
Well, hey, more power to you.
I mean, I ain't complaining, but I think some of it is because.
Okay, let me ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I fight things that try to control me.
Right.
So don't you think that would be a problem with mushrooms?
Okay, but most people don't. It's not that there aren't people out there that don't mind being high off their asses. There are plenty of people who love being high off their asses. Most of them probably have some other things they need to be working through, but nevertheless, that's the case. However, people who use stuff like that for medical purposes normally aren't doing it to get high. They do just enough to be able to function as a normal human being.
Baby, I'm not arguing with you on that.
So
I'm agreeing with you on that.
If there was this minute dose of mushroom, like very, very tiny dose, that you could go through for the next 8 months and have no anxiety, no like nervousness, nothing, and you could just go about your day, you wouldn't do it?
So what you're saying is, if there was something that they could give me in a mushroom form that would keep me from being hyper alert,
right,
would I take it?
Right. It didn't mess with anything else. It just allowed you to just relax.
I would try it.
And it lasted, like it wasn't something you had to do constantly. Like you didn't have to take it every day.
So
it's
every other day or every 2 days.
What is it, MDMA?
Yeah.
Where they microdose it and people take it maybe once every 3-4 months. But in that time, it allows their brain to function
and relax
in a normal capacity.
I would try that. I would.
I mean, it beats popping a pill every day, right?
You're goddamn right. Because I hate this. Yeah. Because I'm not a pill popper, people. Y'all should know that. My doctors know that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'll just deal with the pain. Because the side effects to me are worse than what you're trying to fix.
Right. And
then you cause other problems.
And there's nothing to me, and not to say that every plant outside is safe. Like, no, there's some out there that will kill you. But the mushroom has to be more natural than the natural derived chemical compound they have crushed together and put in a pill and cemented with gelatin and said swallow.
Yeah. And this man, hey, we're going to stop you from having problems not sleeping at night. But you're going to have some anal leakage. Okay? There may be a problem where your eye starts to bulge out a little. Okay? And there may be a small chance of you having internal bleeding while using the restroom. If any of these things happen, please stop taking the medication and proceed to call your doctor. Right?
My point.
But all I called you about and got the medication for...
Because you couldn't sleep.
Because I couldn't sleep.
Or what was the one back in the day that had people like sleepwalking really bad?
Oh, yeah.
And driving their cars.
The one that drove the car. Yeah, the one that drove the car.
Yeah, they would drive their cars, like completely go to work and everything. Still.
Yeah, see, but that's what I'm saying. If I have a problem and what you're giving me causes 3 or 4 more issues, then why the hell am I going to take it to resolve that problem?
I mean, I can understand taking it, but I'm also a big proponent that Mother Nature, there's not a problem out there that Mother Nature has not created
I agree with you.
Some type of solution for.
Right.
The question is, have we figured that solution out? And is our government allowing us to partake of said solution?
I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of it is not being discovered because we are fucking up the rainforest or have diminished. There's so many cures for things in these different forests that are now being ripped apart.
But you also have the problem of these, in these invisible lines that now make up boundaries and countries and all that kind of stuff, where the cure can be right over here, but we don't get along with them.
We don't get along with them,
and we're not trading with them.
We're not trading,
and we don't respect their
embargo on their shit.
We don't respect their doctors, and so they don't count here. So even though they found a way to help their people with it, we won't hear anything else about it.
Right.
I mean, it's one of those things where you have the, and I hate to bring it up because it's a joke, but it's not.
What's that?
The whole Magic Johnson thing.
I'm sorry, please enlighten me. I don't.
Because he was diagnosed with HIV when?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! How many
Do you
years
hear
ago?
anything?
No. But he's living very well and healthy.
And the supposed was he went somewhere else, got his treatments, and
living well.
So so what if you have the money to go elsewhere?
But
you deserve the right. So,
but there are a lot of other countries. Yes, especially China. China supposedly, and I'm just saying this for those of you, and you can research it yourself. China supposedly years ago had a cure for herpes.
China has a lot of good herbal things.
They have the cure.
Even
for
though, according to you, they taste like dirt and
Listen,
forest floor and ass.
Okay, all right. There's when we got
But
sick,
they work.
we got sick right at the beginning of COVID. And we got hit with COVID. We were talking to some people from China. We didn't know that COVID was out then because they didn't announce it till a month and a half later. But we both got sick. We were bedridden for almost close to a month, right? Close to a month.
You were worse than me because I took
All
the
right.
dirt and leaves.
So, all right, so she had this stuff that she had from China that said, hey, you need to drink this. It'll help you. You'll get better, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm one of those people who grew up as a kid. If it smelled bad, I wouldn't mess with it. And she'll tell you, I have an oversensitive smell organ. I do. I can walk into any place and tell you what they're cooking with. I can smell things that the average person doesn't smell.
And my grandmother said no matter how bad it tastes or how bad it smells, it's not supposed to be good. It's supposed to be good for you.
Okay. Well, this stuff smelled like somebody had took their ass and rubbed it across the forest floor and then said, drink it. And I was just like, oh, hell no. I couldn't get past the smell. I'm a guy who I cook. Most of my life, I've been a cook. Yes, I've been in the military for many years, but I grew up as a cook. So sense of smell is everything for me. And I could not get past the smell. I just couldn't. It made me literally want to gag because I couldn't get it. It smelled like ass and dirt. And she drank it like it was nothing. She chugged that shit down.
You just chug it.
I'm looking. You can look at my face. She chugged
Chug
that
it.
down, and I'm just like, oh my
No,
god.
it's horrid.
It's horrid. But she got better way sooner than I did, and she had no lasting effects of it. Where I did have lasting effects of it.
Yeah.
So. I mean, we all make choices, and those choices we got to live with. But, yeah, wow. I mean, there are so many natural products on this earth that can heal so many things and relieve so much pain and give so much happiness. But the federal government and the big farm are not going to allow it. I mean... I know I'm getting off topic. It's the same with the electrical car. The electrical car was available 30-something years ago. But the petroleum people would not let it go. They would not let that come through because they knew it was going to hurt their bottom line. So it's the same with Big Farm. There are people out there who live their life by consuming and making things that are all natural for other people. But it's only known in their community. It's only known in their community because that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
And that's a damn shame. You know what? I'm gonna
or your village healers,
right,
who know things, but because they didn't go to school and
Harvard
then medical school and then
Yeah.
practice under this doctor or whatever, their information will never be taken seriously.
Listen, a lot of y'all listen to us and you really don't know us that well, but we're doing so many different things. We're going to have our own radio station by the end of this year. Mm-hmm. We're going to have our own radio station. You guys DM us. If you want to do a show about herbal products that are helpful and medical herbal products, you got a platform. I'm promising you that right now. You got a platform to speak your mind, show your products, put them out there, do your thing. I have no issues with it. None at all. None at all. Because I grew up on all natural stuff. My grandmother, it hurt me to my heart when she got older and we ended up moving into the city. She had to move into the projects because we couldn't afford our property out there in the country where we were at. She started taking pharmaceutical stuff. And I'll never forget the phone call I made to her and told her, I said, Grandma, please don't take that. It's got rat poison in it. Or this, don't do that. And she died taking those medications. But my grandmother, for years, my grandmother could outwalk you.
I believe it.
She was in her damn 70s, going on 80s when she passed away, and all because she started taking pharmaceutical medications, and she broke away from all her natural herbal stuff.
Well, they all lead to something else eventually. So.
Right. So, yeah, that hurt me to my heart, but it is what it is. What?
I broke it, remember?
Oh, yeah, the clock. Oh, no, we good for the moment because we only...
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we're good. I keep looking back over. I keep looking over and checking it out. And just for y'all, no, we weren't doing no special sign language and that, and we were just checking time. But I personally think that all natural stuff is huge. Nikki can speak more on it because she knows more about it. She's opening her own botanica, which hopefully will be open in the next 6 to 8 weeks.
No, next 2 to 3.
Okay, next 2 to 3 be open. And you guys need, if you're here in Atlanta and you want to come and check us out, please do DM us. When the store does get open, it's going to be out on Facebook and Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to put it out on all these different social media platforms so you guys, because a lot of you are coming to the store and it ain't even open yet.
Yeah.
No, that's the truth. Seriously, a lot of people are coming and the damn store ain't even open yet and buying stuff, and we like, it ain't even open yet. We still in the process of putting the store together, and y'all are buying. And I love you. I love you for that. Please, because she needs to be able to pay the bills. So y'all keep coming, and we ain't got no problem with that. Y'all keep coming. Yeah, I ain't mad at you. Do what you got to do. It's your health. You handle your business. I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all all the way, okay? No problem. So, what else do you have to say on it, Nikki? Because you're the botanical person.
Nothing. I'm happy.
I mean, is there a certain type of mushrooms we ought to look for?
No matter the reason why they've decided to do it, I am happy to see it happening, and I'm hoping that there will be less regulation on natural things. Like, I never understood why there's more regulation on stuff like that than it is on alcohol.
There's less regulation on pharmaceutical stuff than it is on natural stuff. Because once it's approved and tested on a human, they like, hey, just go with it.
Yes and no.
But then you pay money. You pay the right amount of money. You should have passed anyway.
That's true. And I'm glad to see a lot of people going back to
all natural. Yeah, a lot more people going back to all natural.
Where they're just like, screw it, I'm not doing this anymore. And some of it may be because they're returning to their roots, and some of it is because they just can't afford, $700 a month for medication.
Forget that. One pill runs you $300.
Right.
Who the hell does that?
So,
but it costs you $2.98 to make the pill.
Right. So, yeah, that no matter the reason people are going back to that and back to their roots, I'm glad that it's happening.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us. I really am glad too. Listen, guys, I have nothing against all natural stuff, especially mushrooms, and that's it. Because I told her from day one when we got together, it's your job to keep me alive. That's what she does. I mean, when there was shit going on that the hospital couldn't figure out, she was like, I got this. Don't worry about it. And I was good to go. I ain't going to sit here and lie to you. I was good to go. I'm telling you, my doctor and them couldn't figure out some stuff, and she made some concoction, and I was good to go. So, if all of a sudden in the next 3 to 4 months I'm not around,
you know what? Stop telling people that.
Look at.
Stop telling people that.
I'm just saying. I already told my family. She may love me, but what do they say? Love has no. Scoring like a angry woman. What is it? What does that
I don't
say?
know. You playing anger on me?
No, I'm saying. What was that saying about scoring, love, and scoring, and hate or something? A woman. I don't remember what it is. But yeah, love has no scoring like an angry woman. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, okay. But she could just wake up one day in a damn bad mood. I'm just saying. She's like, I'm tired of all this shit. I'm just tired of everybody.
I'm gonna pack my car and leave.
Yeah. So. You come in and I'm sitting at the table with my head down and I ain't answering, you know what's up. And there's a bowl of soup or something in front of me. I'm just just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there. Yes, that's all I'm trying to say.
Anyway,
Get back on to it. Go on, baby. Handle your business, Miss Botanica.
whatever. All right.
Tell them what kind of mushrooms are good mushrooms, though.
I have not really done much research into the psychedelic mushrooms.
What are the properties of mushrooms that would help somebody of that nature, other than anxiety?
So basically, it alters the chemical receptors, I believe, or the chemicals that are the way they're received, and that's what helps people to kind of make it through whatever.
Okay.
But I haven't done much research on mushrooms because it's just not my field of. I deal with physical ailments a lot. I rarely deal with the whole mental.
Right, because I don't think I've ever seen you do anything with mushrooms.
Other than cook them and eat them, no.
Yeah.
But I don't deal a lot with botanical medications for mental purposes.
Okay.
Other than like sleep and anxiety and that type of thing. But as far as like altering chemical response in the body, I rarely do that kind of thing. So I haven't really studied it that much. Gotcha. Probably the last time I really, really studied that was 20 years ago.
Okay.
While studying just that series of plants. Okay. But I definitely, I'm not against Western medicine. Don't think that.
Yeah,
it has its place as well.
Yeah.
But I think it should be done short term, not long term.
I agree with it. I truly agree with her in every aspect.
Burning?
I don't know. There's something on. I don't know if someone turned the stove on.
I'm going to excuse my...
Yeah, is your brother cooking downstairs?
I don't know, but...
I've been smelling it for almost 10 minutes.
You see, I keep looking.
Yeah, I've been smelling it for like 10 minutes. Hey, guys. I really want to say thank you for tuning into the show. I know we hadn't been on the last 2 weeks. We actually went on vacation and stuff, so I greatly appreciate the fact you guys are still tuning in. And I appreciate you, April. You are so faithful. You always check us out. Other thing I need to tell you guys is don't forget to check out the podcast today. It was a part 2 of Adult Breastfeeding Play. It was a lost episode. I found it's about 20 episodes of stuff that I found, and I'm putting them back out there. So I wanted to say thank you so much for everything. Constantly keep checking us out, and we will definitely continue to keep doing the shows with you guys. But if y'all guys got questions or some topics you want to hear us talk about, please shoot them to us. Even y'all can shoot us some photos if you like. If there's some crazy stuff you see that you want us to have a discussion about, shoot us those photos, shoot us those videos, shoot us those things where you out in the open and you driving and you see that church sign and they got something crazy on it or something at a restaurant. Just shoot it to us. Believe me, we have no problem discussing it. We may not be Shula King.
Oh God!
But we sure gonna put our 2 cents in on it. All right, all right, guys. So, as I always say to you guys at the end of every show, please be safe, be smart, and have fun. We're put on this earth every day to help someone, and if you can't help them, all that I ask from you is you don't do anything else to harm them. And with that being said, me and Nikki are going to say goodnight to you. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
And we will talk to you later. We at Nightlife 24/7 appreciate you, our listener, who has an open mind and heart and are able to listen, learn, and discuss those issues that affect you and your partner. By discussing these issues, we hope to keep the lines of communication open to help inform you, our listener, and our community. It's on your mind, so let's talk about it on Nightlife 24/7.